The warming waters and shrinking sea ice in the Arctic are opening up new shipping lanes and access to vast natural resources. It sparked a race for influence in the high north, where the U.S., Russia, and China are vying to expand their presence.
But navigating these icy waters requires specialized ships called icebreakers, and Finland is emerging as a global leader in building them. William Denselow found the support for CNA from Helsinki.
Cutting a path through seemingly impenetrable terrain. Icebreakers boast steel thicker than merchant ships, powerful engines that ride them up on ice sheets, and crushing weight that shatters them to pieces. Their specialised purpose to clear the way for other vessels to follow.
So braking is like 1/3. Then we have friction resistance, which is the friction between the steel hull and the ice. And then we have submersion resistance, which is the resistance where you have to submerge the ice blocks under the ship.
Icebreakers have been around since the late 1800s. But today, Finnish firm Railotech, formerly Aker Arctic, is at the forefront of their design. And that means adapting to an Arctic warming 3 times faster than the global average, where thinning ice makes the region more accessible, but where erratic weather also poses new navigational challenges.
You can have larger areas of open water, but you can also have, it can also mean this, that you have more storms, so that the icebreakers have to be more capable of operating in open waters and in high sea.
Railotech is just one of several Finnish companies behind Finland's dominance in the industry. Some 80% of the world's existing icebreaker vessels are designed by Finnish firms. According to experts, Finland is the only country in the world that can see all of its harbours freeze during winter. The nation's icebreaker technology was born out of necessity. But interest from other nations in these vessels has been on the rise as the race for dominance in the Arctic region heats up. In October, the US struck a deal with Finland for 11 icebreakers. The White House calls them Arctic security cutters and says they're urgently needed for national security, citing concerns over Greenland and increased Russian and Chinese activity in the high north.
There are threats. Now, Greenland is not being encircled by Russia. They're not being encircled by China. But there are threat signals, and we should be cognizant of that.
But interest in the high north goes beyond military posturing. The Arctic route has the potential to roughly halve the time taken for goods to travel from China to Europe. Finnish state-owned company Arctia operates one of the world's most experienced icebreaker fleets, helping to facilitate winter navigation for the country's merchant ships. It says warming Arctic waters open up fresh trade opportunities, and with that comes an increased need for icebreakers.
Most likely there will be more traffic in the Arctic area, and of course there will always be winter in the Arctic area, and that means that there will be formation of ice as well, and need for ice breaking if we want to use the logistical routes throughout the year.
The war on Iran and trade disruptions through the Strait of Hormuz could also have a ripple effect for the Arctic region.
Just shutting down one particular logistical chain in world trade can have tremendous impacts in terms of the world economy. So countries are looking for other ways, more reliable ways of transporting goods and services.
Major powers may be increasingly dipping their toes into Arctic trade routes, but Finland has long since taken the plunge. Around 96% of its foreign trade moves by sea, and it's their icebreakers that help keep business flowing. For CNA, I'm William Denselow in Helsinki, Finland.